Second young guy would be Jacob Phillips because he's supposed to be able to handle the Mike linebacker spot right by now. But he looks like, Mac Wilson never was this bad. Like,
X.
Yeah, like Mac Wilson was never this bad. Mac Wilson was never good.
Ever.
The Mac Wilson stands in the chat.
Well, it's G Bush in the house, and I'm part of GB, and this is
QC.
So we've been talking, you know what I'm saying? We've been getting to the nitty gritty, right? We talked about the defense, and I think that's a topic of conversation everybody has, right? So this was a question that I had. It was posed to me because I think the game 5 now is the quarter post, right? It's the quarter mark of the season where, you know what I'm saying, you could say this is 25% done. I think it's technically 5, like the 5th game in like the 2nd quarter or something, right? But I was posed this question, and that is, who is the most disappointing person on the Brown squad right now?
Most
disappointed in, right? And the easy candidates is on the defensive side of football, right? Like, I think everybody agrees that the offense is performing up to well above what your expectations were. But the defense, I think we've been struggling pretty much at all the positions. And so there's a couple of ways you can look at that. You can go to the high-priced players that were traditionally really good and you feel like you should get more production. You can go to the guys that are now in the program's 2nd or 3rd year in which you felt like we're going to take a step and they haven't seen it, or free agent guys that you brought in, you know what I'm saying, or younger dudes that you had planned on spot shadowing and doing stuff with that haven't given you that level of production. So I ask you, if you had to say one person that you were like, he should be doing better, or his production should be higher, I expected him to be at a different level than he is right now.
I'll give you a packet. I'll give you 3 players.
All right.
2 young, 1 vet. My 2 young, I would say Jordan Elliott has been pretty disappointing, given that he's in his 3rd year. This has been like, your last chance youth situation. And he has not been serviceable at that defensive tackle position. He's after having a good camp, he's been pretty disappointing. My 2nd young guy would be Jacob Phillips because he's supposed to be able to handle the Mike linebacker spot right by now. But he looks like, Mac Wilson never was this bad. Like,
X.
Yeah, like Mac Wilson was never this bad. Mac Wilson was never good.
Ever.
The Mac Wilson stands in the chat. Mac Wilson never was this bad. Like,
X.
Yeah, like Mac Wilson was never this bad. Mac Wilson was never good.
Ever.
The Mac Wilson stands in the chat. But
his first preseason game, he had like picks and stuff. His first preseason game he played, there's like Mac Wilson, that dude.
Well, he one of them dudes that could flash.
Yeah.
But like sometimes at Mike, you don't need somebody who could flash, man. You just need somebody who's gonna be there. Right? You know what I mean? Like that's what you need. Just be where you're supposed to be. Just be sturdy. That's all we need you to do. We don't need you to be flashy. We don't need you to be making all kind of plays. Just be where you're supposed to be. Be an adult in the room. Right? But I would say my most disappointing vet, John Johnson. It's been a minute. He had like 7 good games at the end of last year, but other than that, it's been kind of pedestrian from him, from somebody who was supposed to be one of the better safeties in the NFL. I ain't seen it. He has not made any plays. He's not plays. I seen Grant Delpit make more plays than him. And I've seen him make more mistakes than plays, which is a problem, right? He's part of the miscommunication crew with him, Denzel Ward, and Grant Delpit. The whole can't get right crew over there.
The miseducation of Lauren Hill crew
can't get right. Everybody had that coach, right? You know what I mean? The can't get right coach.
Yeah,
can't get right. We can't get right. We can't get right. Stand over there. Can't get right box. He got a box.
Every time I turn around, you doing this.
You can't get right. You can't get right. They in the can't get right camp, right? You know what I mean? They team can't get right over there. And this defense's team can't get right. I was watching that film and I was like, man, this can't get right. Can't get right. One thing go wrong, next thing go wrong, can't get right. Just bad.
These guys don't even be in their gaps.
One level,
like regular gaps, regular stuff, regular.
And Miles be trying to cover up for like all these gaps, but these dudes so out of place. Miles can't even do their homework for him. Like that's the thing that's frustrating about it. I hear people talk, Miles ain't doing this, Miles ain't doing that. I'm like, I understand that you want to see Miles do things closer to the football more often, but you see how wide they got that brother playing now.
That man is playing wide 10.
They are playing a wide 9. Wide 9 with two of the worst defensive tackles in the NFL. I don't understand the ideal.
You see how far I'm like these dudes is playing on the hashes. Like Clowney on one hash.
There was one play. There was one play last week where I think who was it? Was it the Chargers came out in a bunch right formation, right? They had the bunch trips right on one side, and Clowney was lined up on that side. That man Clowney was lined up so far over on that line of scrimmage that he was with the center dude in the trips. Like he was literally lined up with the center wide receiver in the trip. I am dead serious. I'm dead. I saw this. I was like, wow.
They're looking out there like, hey, do we need to check this something? Because this man is really doubling the slot.
If they run a screen, it might get intercepted by accident.
Like
that's how wide he's there. Like, and it's not that Clowney is choosing. Like, for those of y'all who don't know, defensive line has positions in which it lines up in, right? Yes, we all think of DT, D-line. No, there are certain alignment charts and positions. This is why some guys get called 3 techs. Some guys get called 4 eyes, power fours. Some guys get called 5. Yeah, like Tack McKinley and Chase Winovich, they're edge rushers, but they play the 5. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to always be 5, 6, or 7 on that gap chart. And it's like, they got him at like 9. I
was like, yo, that's why I call it the wide 10. It ain't even wide 9. They really
got him at 9.
They cocked to the inside. I'm like, these cats is in Thundercat racetrack stances.
I'm like, no wonder Miles can't get there. You got to run 25 yards.
You got people. Oh, and I seen your joint too. Reason Phillips can't get off the block is because Perrion Winfrey too busy getting pile drive right into it. I never seen nothing like that, bro.
Hell, man, it was welcome to Walmart. Like, come on, get what you need. Like, it was like, wow, I've seen better defense at Walmart. I've seen better defense by them Best Buy videos. Like, it was just, it's. I don't think people understand the level of dysfunction that is going on that defensive line. And I think people are attributing this to Myles Garrett when it's like the fact that Myles can pull an 80 PFF grade when all of this is going on is a credit to his greatness. Like, you know how great you got to be when it's that bad in the interior?
Tripling you? You get triple. You get triple, bro.
You right now could probably like get minutes for the Browns at D tackle.
You know the funny thing about it? Somebody said that. I said I'm good for like 3 plays before like I could have life-threatening injury. Like I might play and they might just say, "Oh, he's in upper room."
Like it's that bad. You know what I mean? Like nobody's maintaining leverage. No, it's like dudes blow leverage all the time, but like okay. Being gap, you know what I mean? Like be remotely close to your gap. Tommy Togiai get pushed so far, I don't even know where he'd be at the end of the play.
It'd be like it's crazy. They be getting washed. They be getting washed down the line of scrimmage. And if you look at it, the defensive tackles is so bad that it's a double jeopardy type situation because you got linebackers that are fairly light in the britches, like the OGs used to say. And when you got defensive linemen that is not doing, matter of fact, they get knocked back into you, and you got free run as a guard or a center climbing to the next level. If they get hands on JOK, he's out of the play. Seriously, he's out of the play.
JOK, the one dude that could kind of handle a block too. That's the other thing with Jacob Phillips. He can't handle a block. So that's like. People expecting Deion Jones is not a great run defender or anything like that, but he's a veteran. He's an adult in the room, and he'll be better at run defense by default because he just knows where to be, and he's better at hand placement and stuff like that. But yeah, it's tough to get to your fits as a linebacker when everything is being pushed. The depth is like you're supposed to be able to be at 7 yards at depth as a linebacker and know that you can creep 2 and then bounce back 7 to if it's a play action play. Right now, they're scared to creep towards the run if they think it's play action, because if they go 1 foot in, they could be tagged by a guard and now they can't even get into coverage if they want to. That's how bad it's been. Like the defensive tackles have to hold their ground. They have to hold position. You don't need them to penetrate all the time, but you have to maintain, right? What's the biggest drill you learned? Like that, just do that.
Lock out, bro.
The lockout, drop the anchor.
Change the line.
You know
and
they
don't change the line of scrimmage enough to me. Like they don't, like I need you to be playing, that you're supposed to get to, goal is supposed to be playing at heel depth. You want to change the line of scrimmage to put them on their heels. You want to get to where their heels is at as offensive linemen. And they just don't change the line of scrimmage enough.
Our front seven not good enough to do any of this stuff. That's why I'm saying, like, okay, we tried to do the overload stuff, but like when you need a linebacker to come up and fill a gap, we got like one dude who can fill a gap convincingly, and that's Taki, and he's not a great tackler. So it's like we can't even do some of that stuff because of some of the deficiencies that we have elsewhere. And part of this is just new school NFL, right? As linebackers got smaller and smaller, power running and zone running got more popular as a counter, and we're going to see bigger linebackers and bigger safeties become things again, right? Like this is part of the counterbalance of what personnel has turned into. But also it is, you didn't draft for a defensive tackle, and like they drafted 3 of them, right? Perrion Winfrey, who, I mean, he's not good, but he is, at least you could say, I could see him being in the NFL in a couple years.
These guys,
Jordan Elliott, and
20s.
Yeah, because Perrion, I think he's like in 50s at least. Jordan Elliott, Tommy Togiai, 28.
Taven Bryant.
Taven Bryant has been like, he barely playing now. So it's like.
Exactly.
I don't understand why we're getting so many reps of Tommy Togiai. Like I don't understand what's going on at practice that Tommy Togiai is starting. But I made this point to somebody, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say this, even though I understand it's going to sound disrespectful. But this is an honest evaluation of what I have seen, and I apologize if Tommy Togiai or his family see this, but this is the truth to me. This is my truth. I don't think he's a starter like in like a XFL, like a spring league. I don't think he's a starter. He doesn't have length. He doesn't have quickness. He's not big. He's not particularly strong. He doesn't seem like an NFL player. He's
strong in the weight room. He don't play strong in the field.
Yeah, he don't play strong on the field. Now I could care less what you do in the bench press. And it's like those problems popped up at Ohio State, which is why he was a rotational player. And you know, when you play that upper level football, like he might have been able to be like a borderline starter at Ohio State, but like in the pros,
he's a tryhard.
Yeah, it's not that I don't want to call him a tryhard, but I would say
he tries hard, but it ain't. It is what it is.
I would say he's just not like I have a hard time being critical on him because I just don't think he's talented enough, right? Like I think he's a guy that's probably going to be, you know, like he would be an XFL guy, you know, like a long-term XFL guy. But you know,
on behalf of Quincy,
I don't want to get disrespectful. Let's not get disrespectful.
I'm not gonna get this. Here's my thing. I'm not gonna get disrespectful with him.
He's just not good, man. Like,
I don't ever attack a man's character, but he's just not. He's not good. It is like it is what it.
It is what it is. Same thing with Jordan Elliott. At least
Jordan Elliott is not good.
He's a big dude, but it's like that's the problem, man. They're just not good, and as long as that's the problem. And look, I know everybody's like, we should get Ndamukong Suh and fix this. Ndamukong Suh ain't fixing nothing, bro. Because if Ndamukong Suh could fix something, he wouldn't be on the couch right now, right? Like that's the thing. Somebody would have picked him up if they felt like he could fix something. He's not fixing nothing right now, man.
I'm gonna say this:
Sheldon Richardson, he looked bad his last year. He's not good at like. I think you can't do worse. So why not? Sure, but we're not fixing this. There's no fix, right? With linebacker, I can say there's a fix because basically you just need linebackers to just be in a spot, and you can find linebackers off the street. You can sign Michael Smith today. He would be fine in that role. Defensive tackles, you can't just find dudes who can hold and maintain on the street.
I've straight given up this. I no longer expect stops. I'm going right back to my number 23 comments. Back then I was like, y'all don't even got enough talent for me to be mad. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not even gonna pay attention to that side of the football. I am 1 week away from doing that to the Cleveland Browns. If they come out here and they give up a boatload of yards with the ground and they look trash, I'm gonna just say, you know what? I'm gonna just fast forward through y'all's reps. Y'all figure it out on y'all's own. I ain't got no time to be figuring it out on my time.
I
I'm
just play
just
the
watch
percentages.
the offense.
Yeah, I just play the percentages, and I know that they're gonna give up at least 40% of their drives to points, right? I just play the percentages on this. So if they score, I'm just like, how many drives they had? 2. They scored on 1. All right. How many drives they had? 6. They scored on 2. Good day. Good day.
Yeah.
Good day. You know, but like I think sometimes like we react to defense weird. Whenever the defense lets up points, we get mad at the defense. But like, okay, like, you know, the defense gonna give up points. Like, I don't even care if you the 86 Bears, you gonna give up points. But it's, to me, it's like, all right, man, as long as they can stay around just 36 to 40% of they drives they give up points, then okay, that's fine enough. Like, I just can't expect them to be good. And I think we're transitioning out of this period where we thought the defense was gonna be good. Nah, we found out they not good. So
Fool's gold.
Yeah. You know, and they look good for like 3 quarters in Carolina, but we just found out Carolina's not good. Like
they amp you up, they make you feel good about yourself, and then you know what's coming in the fourth. Like, you know, you're 14-0. You're 14-0, and then
here's what I can trust.
You let them run 76 yards.
Here's what I can trust about this defense, and if this makes anybody feel better, here's what I can trust about it. I trust some individual players on this defense, where it's like, if you throw at Greg Newsome on 4th and 2, I'm confident he's going to make a play on it. If you throw at Martin Emerson and he's one-on-one on a big receiver, he's going to make a play on it. Look at what he did to Mike Williams this week. He was tremendous in his role. You know,
seems like
Denzel Ward been shaky. No. He's not better than Greg. Greg way better.
I mean,
Greg way better. No, we're not doing this to Greg. If you want to do this to Denzel, you could do this to Denzel. We're not doing this to Greg.
I'm not diminishing Greg Williams. I'm not diminishing Greg Newsome.
Nah.
All I'm saying is, when I'm watching out there and I'm looking, I'm like, well, he's a rookie.
Yeah, because they actually throw at Martin. They not throwing at Greg. Right? Yeah, they not throwing at Greg, which tells you that Greg is way better at this point.
Hey, well, listen, I get it. I'm getting an opportunity to see the young boy with. Here's the thing. I like Greg Newsome. He in the slot now. So, I mean.
And we ain't thought of, remember how much we was talking about the slot problems last year? Greg Newsome being that slot, we ain't heard a thing about that slot all year. As much problems as the defense had. When have we been like, man, we getting killed from the slot this year? It's always been the boundaries. It's been the boundaries all year this year. We ain't been like, they killing us in the slot. So to give Greg his credit, they ain't even trying it. Like, he's been good. He's been good. Martin's been good. Denzel been shaky, man. Denzel got to play better.
And them two safeties. Yeah,
and we rolling the dice with them two, man.
Them dudes back there. I you know. And like I said, John Johnson, to me, I mean, I don't know what he does. Like, he's one of them dudes you come away from the game and be like, did he play? Like, I'm always looking forward to it with a touchdown, him turning around and doing this.
Yeah.
It's
been a discovery. Yeah, this has not been one that worked out. Now, to be fair, the Browns have had a good amount of all-season moves that's worked out. Amari Cooper, you know what I mean?
Yeah, giving
Njoku
the money.
Giving
Njoku money. They got, Poaches. Ethan Poaches is good.
Yeah, win some, lose some. You know what I mean? I wish they had the sense of urgency with the defensive line that they had with the offensive line. Where would this team be, right? But I think that's what this offseason is going to be about. And look, the season's not over by any means, but that's what the offseason is going to be about. How can we find, if anything, the defensive line coach is gone, right? I feel bad for the brother because not the brother, the brother of Lane Kiffin, Chris Kiffin. He just came back from college to coach over here, but he probably got to be gone because that's the biggest problem, right? If they don't want to fire Joe Woods, which, hey, man, I'm pretty sure they're going to do it, so don't even get mad. You're going to start your thing. I ain't going to get you started on that. But
I just said this.
Yeah, I could see it steaming up in that pro model. I was like, oh, boy, that Guardian hat about to melt off if I act like Joe Woods ain't going to get fired.
This guy.
I was saying, we about to see G. Bush hairline.
I told you, look, I'm just hanging. I'm not gonna say nothing about the defense. I'm gonna enjoy my Sundays. If the defense want to give up, I'm just gonna watch Nick Chubb.
Those watching, G. Bush got a Joe Woods tattoo. He had to get fired tattoo on him because now.
Oh, listen. I've been.
He also got Case Keenum's name tattooed on his back. I don't know.
Oh, listen, this guy. Listen, he swears up and down. I was the Case Keenum, like I was waving the flag for him. All I said was, I'm tired of seeing Baker trot out there. Hey, play Case Keenum. I'm tired of all that. Like, hell.
That's how bad it was, man.
That's how bad it was.
You was begging to see Case Keenum.
Right. I'm noodle arm. I'm noodle nose Case. Like that boy couldn't step his
at least it's hard for Case to throw some of them interceptions.
Because they be waiting on him. The DBs be like, dang, I gotta wait. By that time, the receiver got time to jump back into the route and knock it down.
Look, I'm just glad we live in a world where you don't got to do that no more. You know what I mean? Imagine you was out here having a cake for Jimmy Garoppolo. Look, there's a universe where it happened. I'm glad it's not mine. You know what I mean?
It was definitely a universe where they was talking about, it's the best option to bring Baker back for, I don't know, $20 million or something and give him the reps because Stop, man. So before we go, we get out of here, give me your prediction. I actually think the Browns gonna win this game. I got them 23-7. I think they give up 7 points, just for the simple fact that I think I said Deion Jones is like some sort of Cape Crusader, but I think that they can get lined up. I think he's a serviceable guy on the run, and if the Browns can't take advantage of a rookie quarterback with no-name gangster receivers, and I don't really know who they got on their team, period. Not to say the name brand recognition is end all be all.
They got a good running back. They got a good running back.
Saying,
they got a couple wide. Well, they got Nelson Aguilar. Like they're not a good offense. They got some players on defense though. Jack Jones,
Juno.
They got a Kyle Duggar. He's been a beast too in that safety room. They got some dogs on that defense. Like they're good. They're an average football team. That's what the Patriots are. That's what we are. That's why the Browns would probably. I would say if this stays under 30, Browns will win it, and it's probably going to stay under 30. I don't see how this game gets above 30 points to win. Given both offenses are limited, but the Browns are not a bad offense, so I think they'll be all right.
You go 3-3. You got an opportunity after that. You be playing Baltimore for the division lead.
I'm gonna just walk through it. We're not gonna win that Baltimore game. We're not gonna win it. We got no discipline. You think we about to be out here just staying steady on that RPO? Look, Browns fan, we gonna be 3-4. It's okay. We gonna beat the Bengals though. We gonna beat the Bengals though. We gonna beat the Bengals though.
Up already, man.
Oh yeah,
and
look,
I thought he was an
optimistic
one. You were supposed to be an optimistic one.
I am, because I think they could win every other game on that schedule except for the Baltimore one and the Buffalo one. The Buffalo, they ain't winning those two, right? Those two teams. Well, Baltimore, they just run too much misdirection for us to handle at this point. Unless something changes drastically, they just run too much misdirection. And they got Lamar Jackson. We got Jacoby Brissett. That's going to be a wrap. Unless Lamar had one of them like 4 interception games, and we not going to win that one. If he does, we're going to win that one. But there's a chance. There's like a 25% chance we win that one.
They beat Tampa.
They could beat Tampa. I firmly believe they could beat Tampa. Tom Brady's not being Tom Brady every week. He's too old for that shit. Like, Tom Brady's going to be Tom Brady in the playoffs and, the last 6 weeks of the season.
They will hand the ball to Leonard Fournette. They will.
The Leonard Fournette's not one of them dudes that's going to take advantage of it like that, though.
I saw the Hawks take it. I saw the Falcons take advantage of it.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about Leonard Fournette like that. Like, if that's what they got to do to beat us is run Leonard Fournette, then we got a chance to beat them because we can run too. If it's Leonard Fournette versus Nick Chubb, I don't care how many points the defense spots them. I would take Nick Chubb, but I think they could beat the Buccaneers. I think it's possible. Just the Buffalo Bills are too efficient, and they're too good, and they're too physical for us on both sides of the ball. I think we're going to struggle, and that might be a booty beatdown game. But those two games, nah, Browns can't win those two. We get to 5. You know what I mean? We're going to get to 4. We're going to beat the Bengals. We're going to beat them. But, on Monday Night Football, yeah, we're going to do that. But we might beat the Dolphins. We might beat the Bucks. We might, you know what I mean? It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
All this stuff is so nerve-wracking. It's so nerve-wracking.
It's cool.
We all thought We all thought that we was gonna go 6-5 or 5-6.
And we still might.
And we still might, but it's just the misery of watching games that you probably could win that you may drop. So with that being said, we'll worry about this when we get to it. Hopefully we get a win. You got to don't put the cart before the horse. We got to win against New England, and we'll see what it is. I will admit, if they do win, it's a way better feeling than if they lose.
Now, if they beat Buffalo, oh boy. If they beat Buffalo, they got like 5-6 wins, and they beat Buffalo, that means things have changed drastically.
House money.
And the Super Bowl run is on, baby. That's all I'm saying. If they beat Buffalo, yo, the juice is back. The juice is back. Joe Woods, who? He's still here. Like, it's happening, dog. It's happening. AFC Championship game guaranteed.
And you know Joe Woods is good for one game for blitzing his ass off and getting all these turnovers. You like, he's good for one or two of them a year. And I'm like, just saying, where is that game plan?
I'm just saying, if this thing changes to the point to where they can beat the Bills, all right, man, get on the back because we going on a ride once Ford comes back. But I think we're gonna have a more humbled reaction once he's back, and then we're gonna get like 2-3 games into that thing, and then we're gonna be back on that. Especially if we got like 5 wins and then we get to 8. Oh boy, we're gonna forget about all the flaws of this team and just be like, oh no, we good.
Super Bowl, Super Browns, man.
Yeah. So you know what I mean, look, hope is never over. This season is a roller coaster. We gotta ride with it.
And with that being said, this is GB
QC.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Check out part 1 on QC's channel. We'll be back later. Peace. I no longer expect stops. I'm going right back to my number 23 comments. Back then I was like, y'all don't even got enough talent for me to be mad. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not even gonna pay attention to that side of the football. I am 1 week away from doing that to the Cleveland Browns. If they come out here and they give up a boatload of yards on the ground and they look trash, I'm going to just say, you know what? I'm going to just fast forward through y'all's reps. Y'all figure it out on y'all's own. I ain't got no time to be figuring it out on my time.